Hi everyone, it's Evangeline here at eTrailer, and today we'll be taking a look at our Inno Aero Roof Rack system with our 57-inch long crossbars and our Inno through feet right here on our 2015 Toyota 4Runner. So now many 4Runners arrive with factory crossbars that go right into your rail and are also adjustable and are also slightly aerodynamic. Remember, the downside to those is you don't have a T-channel and you have super limited crossbar clearance underneath. I was not able to clamp down most of our accessories here at eTrailer because of how limited that was. It's very easy to damage your roof with them being so low. So just for that reason, I highly recommend upgrading to an aftermarket roof rack just like this, since it gives you a lot more clearance and a lot more variety when it comes to accessories. You may be interested in something with a lot of overhang like this. You might want something that looks a little bit more sleek, which is the Inno Aero Crossbars with 54-inch long bars, or even the Inno Flush Feet crossbars look awesome if you're okay with having less space but a more factory look. So this is an interesting set right over here because this has the longest crossbars that you can put on your Toyota 4Runner from Inno. So you have different options. You have, let's say, the 51-inch, the 54-inch, and you have these, which are the 57-inch long crossbars. I only recommend this if you really need extra overhang for your different accessories. Otherwise, please go with the 54-inch, which gives you some overhang, but a slightly better fit. So let's take a look at this fit and see if it's right for you, your 4Runner, and your accessories. Now, what I really like about the Inno roof racks is how nice and sleek they look, especially on our 4Runner. They don't always look as good on other vehicles, so it's nice to see that they work well with this vehicle. We have our Inno Aero Crossbar on top, so we have that aerodynamic design, which is designed to reduce the wind noise and wind drag you have as you drive down the road. If you take off these nice sleek end caps, you'll be able to take a look inside the crossbar. So there's some different features with our crossbar. One, of course, is that aero design. The second is the way we have this T-track channel. So if you have your more modern accessories, instead of clamping around the aero crossbar, they can clamp into that T-track. So instead of having to take that weather strip out, you can just push it down, bring your accessories in, and then tighten it down just like that, and you still have that aero design. While this is technically a locking system or a lockable system because you have your lock core, one thing about that is that if you do take the end cap off, you can't really lock down your T-track mounted accessories. You are able to help deter theft of your actual roof rack system though with that lock core right over there. So these are the Inno through feet, which are designed to go around your raised rails. So you have a groove on your feet. Ideally, they're flush against your rails, and then the strap goes around the rails and tightens them down. Since we have the longest acceptable fit on our vehicle, they're not completely flush, but they still have a really good support on your rails. I also like how that strap is rubberized on the outside just to protect your rails, but still has a strong interior so you can't cut them. So let's take a look at overhang. Since these are the longest crossbars that you can fit onto your vehicle, you would want them for the overhang because different accessories require a different length of overhang. So that's going to measure from our towers to the end of our crossbar before the end cap. We have an overhang of about 3 7/8 inches for your accessories. Now let's talk about height measurements. So when you do have this on your roof, you have different clearances that you need to think about. One is the clearance between your crossbars and your roof. If you had the factory crossbars on your rails, you had super limited clearance, less than an inch. This gives you a little bit more height for if you have your larger clamps or if you have your skis with your larger bindings. So measuring from the top of your roof to the bottom of your crossbar, it sits at about 3 and I'd like to say 1/8 inches of clearance below the crossbar. Now the height added to the top of your roof is going to be about 4.5 inches of height. Now you do kind of have hills and valleys on your roof, so it is going to differ depending on where you measure it. So this has a weight capacity of 165 pounds, which is pretty impressive. But one thing to remember with that is you really shouldn't be exceeding your actual roof weight capacity. So you count your crossbar weight, you count your accessory weight, and then you count your cargo weight. That total weight should not exceed whichever is lower between your crossbars and your roof. Another thing to talk about is the length of your crossbars and maximizing that space. You can use your accessories that clamp around your crossbars, but I highly recommend, if you do have accessories with T-channel mounting systems, to use that. That way you can use all your crossbar space. Something special about your 4Runner is you have raised rails. So compared to vehicles that had naked roofs, or if you have fixed mounting points, you kind of can't get to choose where you want to put your towers and your crossbars. For this, you can choose. So what I have it set to right now is a 28-inch crossbar spread. That's measured from center of one crossbar to the center of the other crossbar. But pretty much the maximum crossbar spread you could get is about 38 inches on your 4Runner. So I already have our rear crossbar installed, so we can install the front crossbar together. Pretty much all you need is your crossbars and your towers. You don't really need any other tools. Just make sure you set up your crossbar by pressing this button in so that you can slide this whole tray out. And then you have your towers, fit that into the tray, and then slide that through to secure it. So make sure to have it where the open end of your strap is facing the end of your crossbar, then do the exact same thing on the other side. Now grab your crossbar, and you want to make sure that you have it where the taller part of the crossbar is facing the front of your vehicle. So kind of like that. And just put this onto your raised rails. So we'll set this on our rails and then bring our straps around the rails and into our towers. Since this is going to be the longer overhang for your tower, you kind of are sitting at the edge of your rail, not too far out, so try to get as evenly distributed as you can. Once you have it in place and you have everything lined up where it's even and it's an equal distance apart, you're then going to tighten this down with this lever. Once all 4 towers are tightened down, you're then just going to pop this lever back down and then put your end caps on. So we have the end cap for the tower that fits right over our tower and underneath our crossbar, and should just slide through and click into place as long as it's in the unlocked position. And then once it's clicked into place, you lock it and secure it. And then your next step is to put your end cap on your crossbar. So make sure you have the right and the left end caps on the right and left crossbars. And once you've done that on all 4 crossbars and all 4 towers, you are done with the install. So my personal thoughts about our Inno Aero Roof Rack system we have on right here is you do get that 4.5 inch or about 4 inches long of overhang with the system, but the fit is not as ideal as if you had the 54-inch long crossbars instead because of where the feet are placed. It still looks really, really good. I like how Inno looks on the 4Runner, especially with that nice silver stripe at the end cap and the nice slick look. Now, if you don't want that much overhang, don't need that much overhang, consider the Inno flush feet as well. All in all, you get great capacity, a lot of variety when it comes to accessories. I also, though, recommend maybe picking up the Moki doorstep. That way you get the height and traction you need to load and unload things onto your new crossbars. And that was a look right here at our Inno Aero Roof Rack system with our 57-inch long Inno Aero Crossbars and our Inno Through feet right here on our 2015 Toyota 4Runner. My name is Evangeline, and I hope you enjoyed the journey.